Oh, hey, how are we? Hey, my beautiful family and friends, my reflections of light. How are we? Doing good. I am just sitting and enjoying some lemongrass tea this morning. And I'm wearing a lemony yellow shirt, I just realized. So I think I'm feeling zesty. A zest for life, right? As we are approaching the new moon in Virgo. I had to be a Cosmo girl and come and give an energy forecast so that you know what new, fresh energy is coming in, right? We have on September 21st, the new moon in Virgo, and it's going to be a solar eclipse. That's right. We are in eclipse season. And so on that day, Sunday, in the afternoon, like around 3-ish, but it depends on where you're located, the sun is going to be blocked by the moon, and it will create darkness momentarily, maybe just for a minute or so. But yeah, it will go dark during that eclipse. And then later that evening, there will be a new moon in Virgo, and that new moon will be such a small sliver that many people won't even be able to see it at all in the sky. Not only is it a new moon where we have the opportunity to set new intentions and new trends for the next 30 days until the next new moon, but it is supercharged for manifesting new things, new chapters, and it just gets magnified times 1,000 when there's a solar eclipse involved, because those are rare. I think the last one that happened maybe was a year or so ago, and so definitely not something that happens every day or monthly, right? And so this new moon feels like a new paradigm shift. It's like a whole gateway into the next chapter as a collective. And I know that we just had that full moon, and it was in Pisces, and it was during that 999 portal time, and it was all about releasing. And full moons are usually very emotionally charged times. It didn't help that it was in Pisces during that time, because full moons, we usually see an increase in accidents and people in the hospital, or people just going batshit crazy, right? Or the animals too, just act even more wild during full moons. But when it's a new moon and it's like a little sliver in the sky of the moon, or not even a visible moon at all, it's the opposite of the full moon's effect. And we actually gain perfect clarity, and we're perfectly logical in our mind to be able to make decisions with a clear head. And so our intentions really have a chance of being set in a way that is practical, because we get that Virgo energy. So it's less emotional fog involved at this time, energetically speaking, and is grounded in more insight. And Virgo has that attention to detail. It has that discernment and that refinement in its energy. And so we could all use some of that at this time. And you might even be feeling it, like, I know exactly what I want. I know how I want my new beginning to be. I know what I want to call in during my next chapter. And we have that Virgo energy to thank for that. And because this is a solar eclipse, there's so many paradigms or old structures that are crumbling at this time, and that's to make way for the new. I've been talking to so many people who have changed the way that they are working every day and making it easier for themselves. We have a lot of tools at our disposal at this time. And so that is also helping the way that people do work less stressful, more productive, but not in that workaholic, constant productivity type of way. And so those old structures are being replaced by, a softer rhythm that's more intuitive and more leaning on inner wisdom and faith that, is more in balance. And so on top of the solar eclipse, we have the fall equinox arriving on September 22nd. And so on that Monday, the season changes from summer to fall, and it will actually be a day of balance because there will be an equal number of hours of lightness as there is darkness. And so the daytime versus nighttime hours will be in perfect balance. And this is symbolically a very sacred balance because we are all in need of balancing the material side of life with the spiritual side of life. Both sides, the material and the spiritual side, are needed. Neither is more important. I certainly know some people who are extremely materialistic, and I can be extremely spiritual, but neither is more important than the other, right? I have also been attending graduation ceremonies and knowing a lot of people who have received diplomas and certifications. And is it more important or more legit because they paid money and they wear a cap and gown and receive their certification in front of the public crowd? Or is it equally important when people are graduating in the spiritual sense and ascending after closing out many difficult cycles? You be the judge. And so the fall season is almost here now. And as you can see, it is a time of reflection, a time of slowing down, and a time of reviewing the past year, which is why in my last video, I did a year in review, and why it's important to do that looking back from time to time is because some of us feel like the map that we were given, like we're lost. It doesn't work. And the energy right now is a collective lost feeling. And I have put some tools together to help individuals feel less lost if you are looking for a spiritual coach. I have that link in the description if you are interested and want to learn more. The secret to feeling less lost is getting to your Dharma. Dharma is a Sanskrit word. It basically is work of the heart, or heart-centered working. And that is when the work that you do becomes more meaningful, it feels lighter, and it feels less draining. So it's long-term type of work. It's not work that drains you out. Define what your Dharma is this new moon and set an intention to start doing your Dharma. I hope I am not making you really hate your job. I hope that you've already found something that includes a little pleasure and a little play. That's how you know that you're doing your Dharma, because, this energy of the new moon reminds us to enjoy the journey just as much as the destination. The balance doesn't have to be 50-50. It can be 1/3 of work, 1/3 spirituality, spiritual practice, going within, meditation, that sort of a thing. And it can be 1/3 rest, with a little bit of self-care. So that's the balance that needs to be the goal coming into this new fall season. And take care of yourself, because a lot of people have been reporting to me that they've been feeling a little off, or even coming up with these weird illnesses. My daughter, she said that she felt like she was coming down with strep throat, and she went to the doctor and did all these tests, tested negative for strep, negative for COVID, and had to get some antibiotics, but they couldn't really figure out what her illness was. My partner, he was having some throat issues as well, coughing a lot. And so it is tea season. So make sure that you check out my herb haul video and stock up on herbs like elderberry and lemongrass and mullein and those good things, so that, you can be feeling good, because these energies, they are so high frequency that if you're not used to these higher frequencies, you may need to recalibrate, and your body is going to automatically do it, whether you like it or not. I myself have been feeling pretty fatigued, and so I have no shame sleeping in, taking a slow morning just to get myself up and going as needed. There should be no shame in resting and getting a proper recharge. The divine feminine is rising. That is another really big part of this Virgo new moon. And so she is remembering her magic. I'm remembering my magic. Are you remembering yours? We are all such supernatural beings. We are multi-dimensional. We are amazing co-creators. And so the divine feminine energy that is within all of us, even if you're a male, is waking up, and it's about leading with intuition and receptivity and flow. And on the other hand, the divine masculine is getting a shakeup of its security and in its resources. And so I've noticed that some people have been really holding on tightly to their coins. They don't want to make any large purchases. They're really shaken up by the economy and just worried. Those control structures are being broken down right now, so that you're being asked to surrender rigidity, right? And allow the flow, because there's new ways of stability, where it's more about a community being stable together, but it takes circulation in order for that to happen. And so it's going to be about loosening up your clenched fist and letting some coins flow, rather than letting it sit in your bank account and not really doing too much. Because when rigidity no longer works, you have to surrender to flow. And then that's when the inspiration can come in. And that's when new, fresh ideas, new inventions, new ways of doing things come to mind and come into practice, because there's this thing called inspired action. And it's when you have these aha moments and you act on it. This new moon is also a really good time to detox and just clean yourself out. It's a good time to clean your body out, start a new health routine like working out or eating healthier. But it's also a good time to clean your home. So definitely make sure that your bathroom and your kitchen are clean. Those hold the most negative energies, and you don't want to bring those in to the new season. Come in everything fresh, even take out your trash, because some people don't even realize how much that clutter and just not eating right, or just being sluggish, how that impacts your energy from day to day. And if you've been feeling anxiety, that is something else that this new moon is bringing up, and cleaning out everything, cleansing your home, cleaning yourself out. Those are ways that you can deal with that anxiety, because again, you're just dealing with energies that are shifting, and the vibration is high. And if you're stressed, that's a lower vibration, that's a lower frequency that you're giving off, and it's not aligned, it's not in sync with the current energies that are out there in the atmosphere. And so you're gonna suffer, you're gonna have some trouble with that. Now is the time to stay grounded, stay present, and really practice mindfulness, because anxiety comes from being too far into the future, and then things get scary. So the present day, the now, and then the next couple of days, let that be the only thoughts that you have, and don't get too far ahead of yourself. At any rate, this is the forecast of the new energies coming in this new moon in Virgo. And so if you are interested in working a little bit more with the energy, I'll be holding a new moon circle on Sunday, and also just introducing a new sigil. It's an image that you can really look at, take out, stare at, as you visualize the new chapter, what it is that your intentions are for the next month. It's something that really can help you visualize that. And once you couple that with how you're going to feel, just imagining how good you'll feel when the things that you're wishing for come to fruition, you won't fail. You'll be able to manifest whatever you desire, because like I said, the new moon is going to be supercharged due to it being a solar eclipse. And so I'll be explaining that more and leading that ceremony, so that you can really get clear on what it is that you would like to bring to fruition in your life, and have a tool that is excellent for speeding things up for you. I just want to be clear that I'm not trying to rush forward. I'm just trying to increase the magnetism of receiving, because it's really about receptivity at this time and reflection and integrating all of these things that we have been learning and all of the wisdom that we have been gaining. All right, so that is my good word for today. Thank you for watching, and until next time, peace. Love you guys.